And this is Corey here with Watcher of Realms. If you're here for the giveaway, go ahead. I'm just going to get straight to it. If you want to go ahead and watch the rest of the video, you're more than welcome to. I'm not complaining, right? So if you want to go ahead and do the giveaway, and if you're not sure what the giveaway is, it is 20 players will get 300 diamonds, one player will go ahead and get 10 rare summoning crystals, and then one player will go ahead and get 5 ancient crystals. So tons and tons of you guys will go ahead and have the opportunity to win. All I need you to do is go ahead and put your user ID. If you're not sure what that is, it is this little number right here in the comment section below, and then also just put like happy birthday or something, because May 17th is my birthday. If you want to go ahead and watch the rest of the video, here we go, right? So we went ahead and we attacked some really good teams. I believe the team that we went against is Razorback. Interestingly enough, we went ahead and faced against them for Gladiator Gauntlet. They were an Overlord guild alongside us, and so we went ahead and just attacked everything, and it looks like we had some pretty good success overall. We went 5-0, and then we also have a defense that won. I'm not going to show the defense. I'm just going to give you a heads up. It is a Piercer team. It melted everybody. It felt good, right? So let's go ahead and look at the exact attacks and see what worked, because everything worked this time. Now, one of the things that we were looking at when you see a Valdron plus Elwyn team is, I have an A5 Valdron. I know that is the worst thing you could possibly do whenever you're going ahead and building a team, especially because, truth be told, most of Valdron's damage comes from him being able to do the annihilating might hit, or the annihilating hits, which is that 300% multiplier on his damage, giving him an AoE hit, which is really good for anti-swarms. But whenever you go ahead and place a Elwyn with him, he's constantly getting those heals, so he's never hitting that 50% threshold, which gives him additional chances to go ahead and do that annihilating hit. So as a result, what do? We go ahead and we just swarm it. The main things that are a little bit annoying about this team is obviously we have Sargak that's a little bit of a wild card. If he does a lot of damage, he might just go ahead and melt the tank. And we also have Mari here, which is going to go ahead and give those really frustrating freezes and slows. But if we're able to stack up all the necessary units and our tank survives, which he does, we win, right? So we go ahead, we drop the tank, we drop the fool, we drop the healer. That is our win condition. If the tank dies, YouTube Smile One is currently going ahead and offering some additional top-up rewards for whenever you go ahead and purchase W Gold through the website. So we're looking at a time frame from May 16th to May 25th. So it's a really long time. If you go ahead and purchase W Gold, you are getting rare summoning crystals, you're getting diamonds, stamina pots, you're even getting additional W Gold and legendary skill crystals whenever you get to some of those higher tiers. And also, really importantly, they're even giving some additional bundles as well. So we're looking at some bonus bundles where you're getting some rare summoning crystals. You have the ancient summoning discount, which is actually really good. You're getting 25 ancients and diamonds and stamina pots. It's really nice. And then if you are curious, you have the ability to even get some recasting hammer bundles. So if you are curious just as to what all they are offering, go ahead and check the link in the description below. Thank you. Tricky, but we should be good here. The next step is we drop the double necros, and interestingly enough, on this map, they always go ahead and kind of rubber band here, and we are good to go, right? So now that the necros have spawned up, they're going to start traveling through this map. We are able to go ahead and set up another set of healers, because truth be told, our main concern is Sargak taking out the tank, and then Valdron getting lucky enough and doing enough annihilating hits, like he just did there, and a second time, to go ahead and ruin this run. So once we have all these units stacked up, we're pretty much safe to go. I'm even going ahead and waiting a second on dropping the dogs, because I see that Mari's pretty close to having her ultimate, and if I have the ability just to stack up these units, because truth be told, they're just not going to die, then I can go ahead and drop the dogs right when Mari ults, and I have full clearance to go ahead and win. And if I'm feeling really confident, I might not even drop the dogs, but we do, right? So once this happens, it's pretty much GG. There's no way for Valdron to go ahead and deal with all these units here. It is a pretty simple win, especially because we've already pushed through here. So not really too much to go through. Using Elwyn and Valdron is not optimal, because it's literally the perfect example of anti-synergy. So yeah, not really too much to it. The next team, I believe, what is the next team? I guess I'm just going to go see, right? So the next team is, this is a Arbiter team, it's not really the best constructed, because what you necessarily want is you want a Ingrid if you're going to go ahead and do something like this. They just kind of stacked all these units together. And if you know how the Praetus targeting works, it's pretty easy to manipulate and survive. So what we do is we go ahead and drop the Pharaoh Guard, we drop the Fool. So at this point, we are just tanking everything. It doesn't matter what Praetus does, it doesn't matter what Valkyria does, we are going to tank. And then we go ahead and we let this unit kind of pass through. We're going to go and probably drop the healer, which we do, because if we can just keep this Pharaoh Guard pretty much full HP, we are going to win every single time. So now that the Fool is basically fully HP, the healer is going to kind of travel down here, and he's also going to go ahead and start healing up the Pharaoh Guard and the Fool, giving them pretty much full HP. Praetus is going to go and target the healer, which is fine, because that gives us the clearance to go ahead and drop these Necros, and at this point they're going to start traveling down like they normally do, and we can do two things if we really want. We can drop a healer if we want to be very safe, which I choose to do, and then after that we're going to go ahead and drop the double dogs. Reason being is because we know that Valkyria is going to do a little bit of damage. It's going to be frustrating, but as long as our healer is able to go ahead and keep these skeletons alive, we're going to win, right? Even with Constance ulting right now, giving Valkyria that damage boost, we are very comfortable. And we even go ahead and drop one set of the dogs, and look, they're just going to go push through right here. There we go, right? There's the dog, there's the skeletons. This is a very, very simple win, and we can even drop a second set of dogs if we're really feeling up to it, but there's no need. It's already a win, so pretty easy. Now, the next thing is I think we go ahead and chow one of the more meta Nightmare teams, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. It might be the Nightmare team, or it might be the Esoteric team. I just know that I won everything, so we got lucky today. So let's see here. Personal record. This one. Okay. So here's what they're trying to do. It's good in theory. It's very interesting. So basically what they're trying to do is create a CC chain of juggling you. So the Cyrus is here, face this way, right? Your units will go ahead and stack and get caught here. So you have 4 block and then potentially 7 block, but 4 block, right? So you have 8 block reliably between these two units. You have Boreas and you have Honora. So Boreas is going to go ahead and give you those freezes and the anti-heal, right, because of the freeze. And then you have Honora, whose entire job is basically just to nuke the map. So what we do is we go ahead and we drop the tank, the Pharaoh Guard, then we drop the healer and Inferno Clerk. There's a very specific reason why we drop the Inferno Clerk, and it's really just because Inferno Clerk gives magic resist, and perfectly enough, it's not weak to esoteric units. So we go ahead and get this additional clearance, this additional support, with making both the healer tankier, making the Pharaoh Guard tankier, and now we're going to go ahead and start seeing the healer heal any moment now, and give some really, really good sustain to the rest of the map. Now that we have the double the double Necros, we can go ahead and also drop the healer here, and look at this, right? The map is just filling up here. Our units are super tanky. We have the Inferno Clerk still full HP, mind you, right? They're just eating all this damage here. All this damage. And now we are going to go ahead and drop the second set of dogs right about now, after Malvira goes ahead and ults. And we should go ahead and pretty much insta-win this, right? Because the healer at the back is just giving all these units free HP. It's perfect. The whole purpose of this team is really just to go and chain juggle you. And if you're able to survive it, you win. So we go ahead and drop the dog, drop the second set of dogs, and we're just going to easily pass through here. No issues. We're able to survive the CC chain that they were trying to go ahead and create here. And there we go. Pretty easy. Perfect. Now, the next team, I believe this is the Nightmare team. I hope. Because the Nightmare team was like the most fun one in my opinion. Unless it's the most meta esoteric team. Either way, that team was interesting. I think you just need more damage for it to be really that much of a threat. And because they're using a Malvira CC chain, it doesn't do enough. Yep, this is the esoteric team. So this team is very, very, very tricky. It is really, really, really timing dependent. I go ahead and swarm it because that's kind of just like what I do. I just swarm everything at this point. It's just so fun. It's super easy. We go ahead, drop the Pharaoh Guard. Next thing is we're going to go ahead and drop the second Pharaoh Guard. And this is very intentional, right? We're dropping the Pharaoh Guard and we're dropping the Infernal Clerk and the Healer. Reason being is because I know the first Pharaoh Guard is going to survive. It's not going to die. I've done this so many times, it just doesn't die. Especially off the first ults, especially if you go ahead and proc it with the Healer as well. You're more than fine. So now that we have done this, we have 2 block that is taken up on Cyrus, and we have the Healer and the Infernal Clerk essentially taking up another set of block whenever they go ahead and connect to Cyrus. So we have fully taken up all the block. At this point, we know 2 things. Honora is about to go ahead and ult, and so what we need to do is basically tank her ult. If we can tank her ult, we go ahead and win. So the next thing we do is we drop another healer, because the most important thing is we know that one healer actually might go ahead and die here. And so if we can just keep every other unit surviving, we're pretty good. Now we can drop the double necros, and that gives the rest of the map filled out. And now, on top of it, we have gone ahead and essentially timed out Honora's ult, Ymrit's ult, and now Boreas's ult. So the time that we go ahead and drop the dogs, there should be no major AoE threats to go ahead and take out any of the dogs. And at this point, we're very, very, very secure. We go ahead and drop the dogs once we get to probably 10 cost, to be honest. I think that's probably what I go ahead and do here. And at this, we win, right? The dogs are going to go travel through. Honora is about to go ahead and ult, but that's more than fine because our dogs are easily just kind of clearing through here. And Honora's targeting is going to go ahead and hit this area right here. But it doesn't matter. Our units have started to pass through here. We've put pressure on Ymrit. We are good to go. And that's how we go ahead and win this. Now it is tricky. It is a very, very hard BP check. But because our units are just perfectly tanky enough and we timed out those ultimates well enough, we're able to go ahead and win. So yeah, and that was really just a timing thing, knowing how to bait out the ultimates, wait it out, and tank it. That's where we go ahead and secure the dub. So, and then the final one here is this one. I believe this is the Nightmare team. Yep, it is. So this is the Nightmare team. This is pretty much the exact way that you want to compose it, like the most relevant one. You go ahead and have all these units protected by Carnelian. One of the things that is weird is that this Hotset isn't a Reaper's emblem. So whenever she goes ahead and ults, if she takes out a unit, if she kills a unit, she's going to start doing more damage, but we're not going to die, right? So we go ahead, we drop the tank. The tank's entire job is to just survive Wukong, because I know 2 things. If I can survive Wukong's damage, I am less concerned with Ymrit and Hotset overall as main AoE damage dealers. Don't get me wrong, Ymrit does damage, but if I can tank it, then I win. So now we go ahead and drop the second tank and we drop the healer. The healer is going to go ahead and keep the fool alive so we can continue to give sustain overall to the tank. And then the next set of things that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start stacking up the necros to start filling up the map, and then also baiting the Wukong ults so that they mainly hit the skeletons rather than going ahead and just taking out our tank. Once we do that, we are pretty much going to go ahead and win this. So we go ahead, drop the double necros now. There we go. And then the next step is we're going to just pray that we survive. We might even drop another set of healers here, or another healer, just to make sure that our units don't die. And then we go ahead and drop the dogs here. So at this moment, we know that we're pretty much good to go, because all these units have ulted. Like Ymrit's ulting right now, Wukong's about to go ahead and ult. We should be good to go ahead and start dropping the dogs right about now. And there we go. We go ahead and bait out the Hotset ult, and we push through. GG. Anyways, if this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, thank you.